we are 70% water and only 30% land. And so really, the availability of fresh water is simply about energy and transport.
We are 70% water and only 30% land. And so really the availability of fresh water is simply about energy and transport. Elon Musk has just unveiled a new game changer, a water engine that could completely change the way we drive and live our lives. He made this shocking revelation on X, where he announced that Tesla has made a big change, that Tesla is shifting gears. Instead of sticking to battery-powered cars, they are now betting big on hydrogen fuel cells. Elon Musk's move has companies all over the world watching closely. This decision comes at a time when Tesla is facing challenges in mass-producing its 4,680 battery cells, forcing the company to look for alternative sustainable energy solutions. So Musk is on a mission to find new, greener energy solutions. And the best part, he is introducing Tesla's water engine, which he says will be the star of this eco-revolution. What's so amazing about this water engine? How will it shake up our world? Stay tuned. We're going to break down Musk's new brilliant move step by step and show you why it's such a big deal. Could this give the car industry a boost, or maybe even a bigger change? And before we dive in, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all things tech. Elon Musk, the big brain behind Tesla and SpaceX, is all about dreaming big and saving the planet. He's obsessed with inventing cool tech that makes life better while keeping Earth green. Musk doesn't just think outside the box. He smashes it, pushing the limits of what anyone thought was possible, and earning his spot as a real-life trailblazer. With Tesla, Musk didn't just want to build electric cars. He wanted to flip the whole car world upside down. His plan proved that electric rides could zoom faster, stay safer, and be way more fun than gas guzzlers. But it's bigger than just cars. It's about turbocharging the world's switch to clean energy. And with SpaceX, oh, he's shooting for the stars. Literally, Musk's dream is to make space travel cheap and easy, with the ultimate goal of setting up camp on Mars. Thanks to SpaceX's wild wins, like landing rockets and using them again, he's already shaking up the space game and turning his crazy ideas into real stuff. Musk's adventure in green energy and transportation has some epic highlights. Take Tesla, kicked off in 2003. Back then, people laughed at electric cars, calling them slow and useless. But Musk, he just kept driving forward. Elon Musk didn't give up, and boy, did it pay off. Tesla's first big hit, the Roadster, zoomed onto the scene and showed everyone that electric cars could be fast, fun, and go the distance. Then came the Model S, Model X, Model 3, and Model Y, each one upping the game with better batteries, longer ranges, and even cars that can drive themselves a bit. Tesla's now the king of electric vehicles, making them totally practical for everyday life. But Musk's not just about cars. He's got a green energy master plan. Tesla's Powerwall and solar roofs let homes and businesses soak up the sun's energy and store it smartly, cutting the cord from dirty fossil fuels. And in space, SpaceX is crushing it. The Falcon 9 rocket lands and flies again, slashing the cost of space trips. Plus, Starlink satellites are beaming internet all over the globe. Musk's basically rewriting the rules of tech. Now, let's talk about his wild new water engine. It's super simple, but crazy smart. It runs on water to make energy. Unlike old-school engines that burn gas, or electric ones that need batteries, this one's different. How? It uses something called reverse electrolysis. Normally, electrolysis splits water H2O into hydrogen and oxygen with electricity. This engine flips it, mixing hydrogen and oxygen to create power with nothing but water vapor left behind. Clean, green, and genius. So, how does this awesome water engine actually work? It's like a magic mix of fuel cells, reverse electrolysis, and some hydrogen-oxygen teamwork. Let's break it down. Super easy. First, you pour water into the system. The engine uses a little zap of energy to split that water into hydrogen and oxygen, then stores them in separate tanks inside the car. When you hit the gas, hydrogen flows into a fuel cell. There, it gets split into tiny protons and electrons. The electrons zip around to make electricity, which powers the car's motor. Vroom. Meanwhile, The protons sneak through a special layer, team up with oxygen from the air, and poof, out comes water vapor. That's it. No nasty fumes, just clean steam. This setup keeps pumping out power as long as there's hydrogen and oxygen ready to roll. But how does it stack up to other engines? Pretty darn well. Old-school gas engines only use about 20 to 30% of their energy. Most of it just turns into heat. Electric engines are champs at 85 to 90%. But they've got downsides, like slow charging and batteries that wear out. The water engine, it hits around 60% efficiency, right in the middle, but it's way cleaner and greener. What about how far it can go? Regular electric cars often leave you sweating with range anxiety, topping out at 200 to 300 meters per charge. But the water engine, powered by hydrogen's big energy punch, can match or even beat gas-powered cars for distance. Picture this. You're cruising in a car that only puffs out water vapor and never leaves you stranded mid-trip. How cool is that? So, what makes the water engine so special? Unlike electric cars that need ages to charge, this baby refuels fast, like filling up a gas tank. That speedy pit stop, plus its planet-saving perks, makes the water engine a total game-changer for cars. Here's the big win. It could shrink our carbon footprint to practically nothing. Regular gas engines spew out tons of carbon dioxide, about 4.6 metric tons per car every year, plus other nasty stuff that heats up the planet and dirties the air. The water engine, it just gives off water vapor, super clean and guilt-free. Switching to it could wipe out those emissions completely. Plus, it ditches other gross pollutants, like nitrogen oxides and tiny particles, making city air way fresher. Electric cars, EVs, are cleaner than gas guzzlers, sure, but they've got their own baggage. Digging up lithium and cobalt for batteries messes with the environment. And if the power to charge them comes from dirty plants, you're not saving as much carbon as you'd hope. Hydrogen fuel cells are another green option, also making just water. But creating hydrogen often uses natural gas, sneaking in some carbon emissions. Plus, storing and moving hydrogen is tricky, because it needs big, high-pressure tanks. The water engine, though, it's stepping up as a cleaner, smoother ride into the future. The water engine, with its reverse electrolysis trick, could be a total win, super efficient and kind to the planet. By using renewable energy like solar or wind to make hydrogen, it keeps the whole process green from start to finish, slashing its eco-footprint. Plus, it could save you some serious cash over time. Old-school gas engines need constant tune-ups, oil changes, exhaust fixes, you name it, which adds up fast. Electric cars cut down on repairs with fewer moving parts, but those pricey battery swaps can sting your wallet and the environment. The water engine, it's simpler with less stuff to break, so repairs could be cheaper and rarer. Its fuel cells and systems are built to last, meaning your car might stick around longer. As more people jump on board and the tech gets cheaper to make, water engine cars could become affordable for everyone, not just the fancy folks. But here's the catch. Switching to water engines won't be cheap or easy at first. We'd need a whole new setup of refueling stations, either brand new ones or upgrades to the ones we've got. That's a huge project, and it'll take big teamwork between companies and governments to pull it off. On the flip side, if we make it work, we could kiss oil goodbye. That means steadier fuel prices, less fighting over oil, and tons of new jobs building water engine tech and stations. This is a massive shakeup for the car world, moving from gas guzzlers and electric rides to water-powered wonders. It's not simple, though. The whole industry is built around fossil fuels, from factories to gas stations. But here's the good news. Companies can borrow tricks from hydrogen fuel cell tech, like how to store hydrogen, or design fuel cells to speed things up. So, what's next for Musk's water engine? Will it change how we power our lives and hit the road? Or will it hit too many roadblocks? The car world is buzzing after Musk's big water engine reveal. Big names like Toyota and Hyundai, who've been all about hydrogen fuel cells for years, are keeping a close eye. Toyota's been rocking hydrogen with cars like the Mai, and they're pumped seeing Musk's move as a high five to their belief that hydrogen's the future. They think it could spark more cash and stations for hydrogen tech. Hyundai with its Nexo is excited too, but playing it cool. They love the competition, but know there's still a ton of work to make hydrogen and water engines a real thing for everyone. Experts are split on this water engine idea. Some think it's a genius leap toward greener energy. Super exciting. Others aren't so sure, scratching their heads about how efficient it'll be, how we'll build all those water refueling spots, and whether it'll actually work money-wise. People online, they're all over the place too. Musk fans and Tesla lovers are hyped, dreaming of a cleaner, zippy engine that's great for the planet. But not everyone's sold. Some remember Musk trashing hydrogen before, and wonder if switching to water engines this fast is even doable. Plus, those new stations and startup costs. Yikes. So, will Musk's water engine be the superhero it claims to be? One huge hurdle is figuring out how to set up refueling stations everywhere. Gas stations, they're on every corner. Electric car chargers growing fast thanks to Tesla and others. But water engines need a whole new network, and that's a big, wild challenge. Right now, hydrogen fuel stations are pretty rare, way behind gas stations or even electric car chargers. You'll mostly find them in places like California, Japan, or parts of Europe. Water engines, which use hydrogen too, can piggyback on these spots. But we'd need a lot more to make it work everywhere. Tesla's got a plan though. They're experts at building supercharging stations for electric cars, and they want to tweak those to handle hydrogen, plus build brand new ones just for water engines. It's a huge idea, but it'll take big bucks and teamwork with governments and companies to make refueling easy for everyone. So, how fast can they pull this off? And what about the money and headaches along the way? Those are the million-dollar questions as Tesla races to get water engines on the road. Safety is a big deal too. Hydrogen's super clean, but it's also super flammable. So, you've got to be careful. Since water engines use it, Tesla's tackling that head-on. They've built tough, leak-proof storage tanks to keep hydrogen locked up tight in the car, even under crazy pressure. Plus, they're testing everything like crazy to make sure it's safer than safe, meeting all the big global rules. Tesla's all in on keeping this tech secure. But will that be enough to calm everyone's nerves? How do we make sure people trust this water engine and feel safe with it? That's the big question. Tesla's also got a tricky puzzle to solve with rules and laws. Every country has its own playbook for handling hydrogen. From making it to moving it around, it's a global headache. But Tesla's on it, chatting with regulators everywhere, doing tons of tests, and piling up paperwork to follow all the rules. They're keeping the conversation going to tweak things as needed. So, what's tough in different places? And will Tesla's hustle make water engines a worldwide hit? Let's find out. Every tech has its superpowers and kryptonite, hydrogen fuel cells. They pack a ton of energy, so you can drive far and refuel fast. Plus, they only puff out water vapor, which is awesome for the planet. But the downside, hydrogen's a fiery handful to make, store, and ship, needing special setups. Water engines, though, have a cool trick. They whip up hydrogen right when you need it, making storage simpler and safer. They also play nice with green energy like solar or wind, boosting their eco-red. The catch that reverse electrolysis magic needs a big energy kick to start, which can dent efficiency a bit. The future for water engines looks bright, but it's no cakewalk. Car makers are all about cutting pollution, and governments are cracking down with tough emissions goals and sweet deals for clean tech. Figuring out how fast people will jump on the water engine bandwagon depends on a few big things: how slick the tech gets, how many refueling stations pop up, and whether folks are ready to give it a spin. At first, it might just catch the eye of tech geeks and eco-warriors. But experts say as it gets better and cheaper, more people will hop on board, maybe even taking over a big chunk of the car market in the next 10 years. That's if Tesla can iron out the kinks in efficiency and build enough stations and cars to go around. Teaming up with governments and businesses will be key to making it happen. So, what's it going to take for water engines to totally shake up transportation? How will they stack up against the big dogs and ride the wave of green energy? Let's zoom back in time for a sec. Engines started with the steam engine way back in the late 1600s. Guys like Thomas Newcomen and James Watt made them awesome, powering trains, ships, and factories and kicking off the Industrial Revolution. Then in the late 1800s, the internal combustion engine rolled in, thanks to brainiacs like Nicholas Otto and Rudolf Diesel. Otto's four-stroke engine and diesel's power-packed design became the blueprint for today's gas and diesel rides. Super strong and everywhere from cars to planes to boats. In the 1900s, these engines got even cooler, with better materials, fuel injectors, and turbo boosts, making them faster, thriftier, and a bit cleaner. But as worries about pollution and running out of oil grew, people started hunting for something new. That's where electric cars started revving up in the late 20th and early 21st centuries. Elon Musk and Tesla kicked off the electric vehicle EV craze, making huge leaps in battery power, driving distance, and charging stations. But before Musk's wild water engine idea, people tried all sorts of other fuel tricks. Back in the 1960s, NASA used hydrogen fuel cells to power Apollo spacecraft. Pretty cool, right? It showed hydrogen could work, but bringing it to everyday cars hit big roadblocks. Making it, storing it, and building places to refuel were a mess. Then, in the early 2000s, biofuels like ethanol and biodiesel made from plants and waste got hot. They were renewable, which was awesome, but growing them gobbled up tons of land and water, sparking worries about food shortages and the planet. Electric cars also had their moment. Think General Motors EV1 in the 90s. They showed EVs could roll, but short ranges, high prices, and nowhere to charge kept them in the slow lane. It took better lithium-ion batteries and a web of chargers to finally get EVs zooming. These past tries teach us big lessons for Musk's water engine. 1. You need good infrastructure. Hydrogen and early EVs flopped without it. Musk's fix: use Tesla's supercharger network and tweak it for hydrogen refueling. Another lesson: efficiency matters. Biofuels sometimes burned more energy to make than they gave back. Not cool. Musk's water engine tackles that with reverse electrolysis, aiming to split water and mix hydrogen and oxygen as smartly as possible. So, where does the water engine fit in? It's the newest chapter in the hunt for clean, green engines, learning from what worked and what didn't before. Musk's pushing the limits again, but he's not alone. Companies like Nikola Corporation are in the game too, building hydrogen-powered trucks. Even after some bumps in the road, Nikola's been charging ahead, building heavy-duty trucks powered by hydrogen fuel cells. They're aiming at big businesses, which could give Tesla some serious competition, especially for long-haul trips. BMW's in the mix too, testing out hydrogen fuel cells with cool prototypes and their top-notch engineering. With their fancy brand, they might steal some thunder from Tesla's water engine, especially in the luxury car scene. Then there's Rivian, a hot electric vehicle startup with big backers like Amazon and Ford. They're all about EVs right now, but with their cash and creativity, they could switch gears to water engines if the buzz gets loud enough. Teamwork's the secret sauce for making water engines a big deal fast. Tesla's great at making smart partnerships. Think top tech companies, universities, and research crews. These hookups bring in brainpower, cutting-edge ideas, and the latest tech. Imagine Tesla teaming up with hydrogen-smart universities to make the water engine even better, or linking with giants like Google or Apple to add slick software and AI, making these cars super smart and fun to drive. So, how will these team-ups change the way we roll? Could Tesla's buddies help water engines take over the roads? One of the coolest things about the water engine: it plays perfectly with green energy, like solar and wind. Using clean electricity from solar panels or wind turbines, it splits water into hydrogen and oxygen through electrolysis. That means hydrogen power, with almost zero planet-harming emissions. Total eco-wind. Picture this: your house has solar panels soaking up the sun all day, making hydrogen fuel to power your water engine car. Or imagine wind farms spinning away, pumping out electricity for your lights and hydrogen for your ride. It's like renewable energy and green transportation teaming up for the ultimate high five. This could totally shake up how we use energy. Hydrogen can act like a giant battery, grabbing extra power when the sun's blazing or wind's blowing, then turning it back into fuel or electricity when we need it most. That keeps the power grid steady and makes green energy even more reliable no matter the weather. If water engines take off big time, they could be a game changer for the planet. By ditching fossil fuels, they'd slash greenhouse gases and dirty air. Hello, cleaner skies. healthier people, and a happier Earth. Plus, pairing water engines with renewable energy fits perfectly into the mission to zap carbon out of our energy system. It could speed up the switch to a super green world by boosting clean hydrogen and sparking more hydrogen stations. Elon Musk's water engine might even rewrite the rules for global energy. As countries race to hit climate targets and cut emissions, this tech could nudge them to make big moves. Think government goodies like tax breaks or cash to build refueling spots and crank out green hydrogen, pushing the hydrogen revolution into overdrive. Governments could jump in with cool perks like cash bonuses for buying hydrogen-powered cars or funding to make the tech even better. That would supercharge the switch to green energy, getting more people on board and building out the stations we need. Plus, the water engine is set to make driving way more awesome. Unlike those loud, shaky gas engines, water engines, kind of like electric cars, run super quiet and smooth. That means less racket on the road, a chill ride, and happier ears all around. Performance-wise, water engines are snappy. Just like electric cars, they hit the gas and go with instant power. It's a blast to drive, and since they're super clean, you can zoom around without any eco-guilt. Money-wise, they're a win too. As the tech gets cheaper to make, water engine cars should cost less up front. Add in government deals and lower fuel bills, and your wallet's smiling big time. But wait, water engines aren't just for cars. Tesla's dreaming bigger, like using them in planes to cut aviation's carbon mess. Picture hydrogen-powered jets that are just as green as these cars. Talk about a sky-high revolution. Ships could get in on it too, sailing with water engines to clean up the seas and air. Even heavy industries with huge energy needs could swap fossil fuels for this sustainable switch, slashing emissions like champs. And that's a wrap on Elon Musk's wild water engine adventure. From quieter rides to cleaner skies, and maybe even planes and ships, this tech could flip the script on how we move and power our world. Will it zoom us into a green future or hit some speed bumps along the way? Stick with us to find out. If you loved this deep dive, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next big thing. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about the water engine? See you in the next one. Stay curious.